These are the adventures of a temporarily out of work wife and mother. And as soon as I got off from work, I immediately jumped into this weekend reset. This is the last weekend reset of 2025. And while I am not responsible for cleaning just about anything upstairs, because I like to go into the new year with a home that's completely clean, and that lady's son that I married took them kids to go visit his family and left me home all alone in peace, I decided to do everybody a kindness. Not to mention, y'all know ain't nothing done right unless you do it yourself. So as soon as I got home around 9 a.m., I got right to it. And I kept going until almost 11 p.m., at which point I was drop dead tired, which made that long soak in that tub so worth it, so needed, and so deserved. Since we all know, washing clothes for four people, even if I was the one who had most of the dirty clothes, can absolutely take all day long, that's where I started. Of course, I collected the trash and got all my cleaning supplies organized and ready. And when I went to gather those clothes from my sunshine's room, I was absolutely disturbed by the state of his union. I wanted to call him and fuss, but I didn't. I just got to work. I don't know what it is with teenage boys and their socks all balled up everywhere. Food wrappers, empty body armor bottles, open food not completely eaten, and unopened food. Child. And then I don't know how he finds anything when he's looking for school supplies because they was everywhere. And why do you have gold spray paint in your bedroom? If I recall, you used that over a year ago for somebody's gift that you was making. I was happy to see that he'd been reading his books, though. And he'd asked me to use the gym mirrors that I used to make the mirror design downstairs to give him some mirrors on his closet door and see if I could figure out a way to keep those closet doors closed. The closet doors have dummy knobs, so the way that they open and close is a spring activated system at the top of the door. Since the doors are 20 years old, that spring activated system no longer works. So you know what we do, right? We Igor rig things. I took a hair tie, wrapped it around the doorknobs, and voila. And you know we had to make the room smell good. I used the appliques that came with the mirror squares as well as some heavy duty double-sided sticky tape to ensure that those mirrors are going to stay up. Since he's already over 6 feet tall, I figured the mirrors needed to be up a lot higher. And since I was going to run out of mirrors at some point anyway, I figured underneath the doorknob would be fine. Now, between all of that, I was sorting and running loads of laundry. I learned a long time ago, when it comes to cleaning, or just about any task, you do the hardest, most time-consuming part first. And I apply that same logic to laundry. So I always start with the blankets and sheets because I know they're going to take the longest to dry. And between switching out loads of laundry and cleaning his room, I also went ahead and cleaned up that hallway. And then I got started on that hallway/kids' bathroom. Now, they're responsible for cleaning it, but like we already talked about, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. I know that a lot of parents get flack for talking about their kids, what their kids do, and showing the messes that their kids make on the internet. People feel like, oh, you embarrassing them or you're exposing things that should be private. But at the same time, folks love drama. They would love for you to post about what's going on in your personal relationships. They would love to see you fighting, beating somebody up, or getting beat up. People who post that kind of content have millions of followers. Well, I can't show you none of that because I ain't got all that going on. And whatever I do have going on, I share that too. But I share it in my own special way. I'm more concerned with the lesson, what I can share with others that will help them in their lives. I am a certified professional life coach. Content isn't just content to me. There has to be something that other people can learn from what I'm sharing, even bedtime stories. My goal is to be entertaining while also being educational. Even doing this, a weekend reset, there's something that you can learn. When cleaning the bathroom, I like to use those disposable workman's rags. They look like paper towels, but they have the strength of a washcloth or a rag, but they're also biodegradable, so they're good for the environment. They also help to ensure that you're not using the same bacteria-filled sponge to clean the sink, the toilet, and the tub. So you saw me scrub down the sink using the Scrub Mommy, but then you saw me switch to the workman's rags. You also saw me use Lysol wipes to disinfect the personal care items in the bathroom that my children have to touch. Now, don't ask me how I managed to not capture any of the footage of me actually cleaning this shower, but I did. Then you saw me use workman's rags on the toilet. And when I ran out of those, I used my reusable Rubbermaid microfiber cloths. The ones that I used on the toilet, I disposed of. They come 50 in a pack for only like $7. The ones that I used on the tub, I'll just wash so that I can reuse them in the future. I try not to be wasteful, even while being hygienic. My point, though, is there's always something to be learned. And that's what I prefer to use my content for. For example, when you're washing bras, use bra keepers. They cost entirely too much for you to just throw those things in the washing machine and hang them to dry so that they don't shrink. Want your blanket to smell good after it's been dried? Spray a little of your body spray or cologne on the blanket and then let the dryer run for about 3 minutes. Also spray it on your clean sheets before you store them. Another good hack is to take a fabric softener sheet and put them in the bag or the box so that they don't smell old or like they still need to be cleaned when you take them out. My Sunshine has 3 pairs of sheets. One that is jersey material, perfect for this weather, and the other 2 that are great for all year round. So I stored his 2 sets that are good for all year round and put his jersey set on his bed. Because we have a king size bed in our master bedroom, those comforters are huge. They cannot fit in one of those sheet storage boxes. So I put them in the vacuum sealer bags. They come with a pump, but that pump takes all day. This is on 10x speed, and I'm using the vacuum to suck all the air out. Look how flat that bag got. Put the bag wherever you need to store it, and you've saved a whole bunch of space. So I got through all of the mats, all 3 of my son's sheet sets, his comforter, all of the towels, washcloths, and hand cloths. And then I folded up all of the laundry that was already cleaned and dried. I left all of my Nooney's clothes in her room for her to put away because she don't like nobody in her stuff, and I ain't mad at her. She at least cleaned her room before she went out of town. And she only left a little laundry that still needed to be washed. The rest of it needed to be folded or hung up and put away. And this is all the clothes that I already had that was washed and dried and needed to be folded and put away or hung up. I should be ashamed of myself. But I ain't, because I'm a temporarily out of work wife and mother, and I have plenty of stuff to do. Thankfully, though, I got through the remaining loads of dark clothes. Got everything of my Sunshine's put away. I pulled everything out of his drawers, refolded it all, reorganized it, and found all of the missing socks, hung everything up that needed to be hung up, and remade his bed. Now, let's see how long it stays like this when he comes back. I made it a point to go ahead and fold up all of those clothes that I got dry, so that way they won't be wrinkled. Now, I ain't say I put them away, so don't start. I saved putting away my stuff for the following day, which is fine with me since I still have white clothes that need to be washed. I always save those for last because they require bleach. Look at your girl reflexes. They still on point. I save the whites for last because I'm always worried about somehow getting residual bleach on my other clothes. Now, I don't use liquid bleach in my washing machine, so the chances of that are pretty slim, but you never know. The only thing that lady's son that I married has to worry about putting away is the clothes that go in the dresser. He got way too much stuff. I don't know how he wants it organized. I'll leave him to that. So I guess you already know there'll be a part 2.